Hey everybody, it is Elsa932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me for Love is Blind Brazil Season 5. This is episode 11. We are almost there, y'all. We are almost there. Please take this moment to like, share, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and if you wish to, join the membership for additional support. I really appreciate any form of support. Just by viewing this, you are supporting the channel. So let's get to it, because Nivea is still at the dinner table, okay? Ricardo left Nivea at the dinner table because he said that she got insider information about the season, when they got to do things, and Nivea is like, no. She speaks to people. That's what she does. She asks questions. She is like, hey, it's not my fault that he is upset, but he's been upset like this about things like this before. But she's like, just talk to the people. Talk to the producers. Ask what's coming. Or maybe watch the show before you join it. How about that bit of homework? No one likes being left at a restaurant is what she says. So, she's really upset. She don't look it, but she's really upset. That would be it for me. You show your entire behind to me, and you leave me high and dry at the restaurant, and you leave. Oh, we done, but we shall see. Ed and Ida, Ed said, they will have a respectful relationship. She says she wants someone to listen to her and she wants to feel heard, and she feels that with Ed. He knows, he does not know what he wants yet, but she said until the ceremony, they can change their mind. She has made her decision, but things could still change. We go back to Nivea and Ricardo. She says that he was at home when she got there, and she just said good night. You lucky, Ricardo, you got a good night. Because I would be like, okay. You may have gotten that. I may have glanced at you, but I ain't telling you good night. But he says he feels like crap for hurting her, and it's like hurting himself. Side eye, Ricardo. It's like hurting yourself. Then why did you do it in the first place? Nivea says they talk and they accepted that they have differences. They have differences of communication, differences of behavior, and differences of how they want to do things in life. Sounds like you need to head in different directions. Ricardo said he'd been trying to judge less of the person and find the mistakes within himself, not the other person. She has opened the window to his heart, and he says we will keep respecting each other. I didn't hear an apology. Did you? Did anybody hear an apology? I didn't hear it. So yeah, respecting each other. Start with the apology. Mario, Roberto, and Lou. She misses the pods, she says. Their connection was so strong in the pods and she absolutely loved it. He don't miss the pods. He said, no, that ain't reality. This is reality. He said, never stop telling the truth, even if it hurts. I said, daggone it. She's trying to be romantic and remember when we were so much in love when this all started? And he's like, I don't want to remember that. She says, everyone has their own pace. She's very fast. And, ask, how does he feel today? He said he's still learning to live together with her. She says her feelings are getting bigger and bigger each day. It has always been a yes for her. It has been worth it. He said he learned to look at himself a lot in this process. She is more certain and he has doubt. Lou says her expectations are the same and this is her dream. And when people say dream, I said, may turn to a nightmare, young lady. I need you to wake up. We ain't dreaming. We learn it's 5 days till the wedding. They have a bachelor and bachelorette party. I will start with the bachelor party. I'll just give highlights. Ricardo says he's never been to one. I'm like, is it not a tradition? In Brazil, has he not been to weddings? His friend said he was married 17 years. Maybe he didn't know him that long, but he's never been to a bachelor party. But before he leaves, he blow dries her hair. And you know how Ricardo's hair looks. Ricardo definitely knows how to blow dry and take care of your hair. And she really likes that sort of affection from him. The fellas go to a barbershop makeover. Get themselves all dolled up, not just for the bachelor party, but also for the wedding. But Ricardo says he can't wait to meet some of the other women from the pods. Sir? And that's exactly what the men said. Sir? Hello? Sir? You got a fiance. You shouldn't care about that. And it's interesting that Brazil is bringing the other people to the bachelor-bachelorette party. We usually have a mixer. And the bachelor-bachelorette party is for the folks and their friends, you know, apart from the other people in the pods. But this one is more spicy. I like this. So the other men from the pods come. They meet up with the grooms, and we see Rivio. Rivio is there, and he says, "Hey, there was no chemistry, no spark after the face-to-face with Sylvia." And I was like, oh, do we have to give Rivio more camera time? Could he just go away? Rivio tells how he tried to take Leo's woman, and he thinks it's real cute, but Ed is over there talking to Mario and Fabio and say it was a betrayal. It was a betrayal. First, Rivio betrayed Wagner, and now he betrayed Leo. I was like, Ed, tell us how you really feel. So production flashes how Wagner and Rivio was talking about responsibility in the relationships, and I was like, ooh. I guess production don't like Rivio either, because they brought the receipt right away like they did with Lika. Mario Roberto says, you know, nothing has been the same since they've been living together, he and Lou. Ed says it's going. He's like, when asked if he's in love, he's like, hey, it's going. Now, Samba dancers came in and the drums enter, and you know that is Mario Roberto's thing. He was just moving. Everybody had a great time and was having a great time. Bachelorette party, the women arrive at Nivea's place for, like, you know, the pre-party. Lou says she doesn't know the answer that's going to come from Mario Roberto. Nivea wears a hot, short, sparkly outfit. When I say hot, that is hot. Short, slinky dress. I was like, girl. If he ain't mad, he gonna be glad. Then we see the sign on the wall. Thank you for translating the sign on the wall, production. It says, never a saint. I was like, ooh, never a saint. Many of the pod ladies are there. Sylvia said she came all dressed up. And I was like, where? Sylvia, you look much better on the vacation. Sylvia, you were not dressed up. I'm sorry. The extensions, you know, you looked like you hadn't slept the night before. I'm sorry to say that, but that's just how it is. So she says she wants to cut through the BS and she's here to do all kinds of stuff. I was like, Sylvia, you are no longer one of the potential brides. Lika does say she wished it worked out with Leo. Then you should have been there. You should have stayed with Leo, Lika. Lika does call out Sylvia, you know, for the groping of Leo while they were on vacation. And Sylvia denies it. She said, oh no, that never happened. Production, thank you for the receipts. They showed a groping moment. And even though we don't actually see her hands, we see Leo's reaction of, oh, and you know what she's grabbing, okay? His loaves. Lika thinks that Sylvia is here to show herself and show off. Now, Lou says she's grateful for Mario Roberto giving love, and if he's not ready, then he will be the loser. Nivea says that Ricardo thinks that she's too outgoing and it bothers him. And Maria says, you know, she can make it work. Maria, the narrator, okay? That, you know, Nivea and Ricardo can make it work. Nivea said, you know, it's just because of their bond, maybe, but she ain't sure. Drag queen enters and have a lovely time with the ladies, brings a stripper mechanic. Ooh la la. I know it's the wrong language. They all dance with him. They handle his tools on his tool belt. Okay. And they had a great time. And then the ladies arrive at the gentleman's party. They're meeting all the other men from the pods. It's going to be messy. Love it, Brazil. Rivio says he was sure Fatima looked good because she was active. She said she was always active. And he could not, you know, lie to her through the pods. Okay. Fatima thought that the men thought that she was not good looking because she has 4 kids and she's over 70. I guess, you know, yeah, Fatima, but I don't think Love is Blind will cast someone in that direction, but we don't know. Mario Roberto and Lucielma greet each other, and, you know, it was disappointing for Luciana what happened with her Mario. Okay, because there's a Mario Roberto and there's a Mario. And Mario is the one who walked out on Luciana. Ed and Luciana, they talk, and Ed said, quite frankly, that Mario chickened out. He told Luciana that he chickened out. That wasn't cool at all. I'm I'm loving this Ed. I love to hear Ed's opinions on things. Now, Sylvia did not greet Revo. She said she ain't wasting her time. But she did talk to Wagner. He said he was quite hurt by her. She does find Wagner attractive. And Wagner thinks that she got what she deserved when she chose Revo. I was like, daggone it, Wagner. Tell me how you really feel. So Sylvia ain't going to be able to split the block. He said he's fine and he's over it, but he ain't going back there. Sylvia's looking for a new love in her life, she says, and she thinks that Wagner is just holding a grudge, and she doesn't hold grudges. No, Sylvia, he's holding you accountable. You hurt him, he don't want no parts of it. Leo greets Lika, and they talked, we hear once during Messenger. She said it was sad that was not going to work. Now, Lika does greet Revo. Okay? Revo's like, there's chemistry here with her. There's chemistry. But Leo is a good friend. Lika says, we have nothing in common, And Revo said, I need your number. And I'm like, oh, she was talking about Leo. She had nothing in common with Leo. And then Revo's like, can I have your number? Lika says she followed him on social media, but he did not follow her back. He says, hey, I don't use social media all that much. I use it very little. She's like, hey, since you didn't answer, she'd moved on and she unfollowed him. He says it can be days before he logs back onto his social media, so don't hold him against him. And I'm like, Lika, you gonna give him another try? I need to hear the reunion if they go out on a date or not. I need to know that. So folks think that Lika and Revo should be together. And Sylvia thinks no woman deserves Revo. I was like, ouch, Sylvia. But I do agree. Revo, I don't think you should be in any kind of relationship. Now we see Ricardo and Ustinelli. Ustinelli says, meeting the men was fun. Okay? It was fun and funny. Ricardo thinks she is beautiful, but she thinks Leo is hot. Maria Luisa tells Lika that Ustinelli is talking to Leo. See, Maria Luisa is stirring the pot. Lika says she would have preferred to hear it from Ustinelli rather than hearing it from someone else, since she considered Ustinelli a friend. You're done with Leo. Hello, Lika. Lika, dear. Knock, knock. Hey, Lika. You're done with Leo. He and she don't owe you any kind of explanation or information. You are done with that man. Let him be. See, this is the kind of hovering you're going to be doing. He's going to be dating somebody or seeing somebody, and they'll be like, well, who's that? You're done with him. There's no future with him. There's no future information from him about his dating life. Lika asked Leo about it. I said, daggone Leo, you better tell her go somewhere. Leo says, we were just talking, but nothing's going to happen. Why does she care, Leo? Why do you even give her the information? So Lika thought that he would be interested in Ustinelli because she's, there are a lot of likes. She's into fitness. She's active, all these things. And Leo's like, no, she's a beautiful woman, but not for me. Ed shared that he loves Ida with the group and tells her she's the woman of the hour. I was like, okay, the woman of the hour. Okay. Then we start the weddings. We see Lou and Mario Roberto getting ready. Now we have the weddings. Lou and Mario Roberto. Lou, she says she loves, her wedding dress. She is in awe with it. And what I love is when the wedding dresses are on display, when the suits are on display in the room, when they walk in. Because in the US version, for some reason, they have people walking in with garment bags. Don't we have someone that could have the actual outfits just waiting for the bride and groom? That is, much more professional. That's just my opinion. So she says this is her first wedding dress. And if we are to remember what she said, that her wedding dress, her first time she was a bride, she wore the same dress from her 15th birthday. So this is the first wedding dress, first custom made one too. Mario Roberto says, the anxiety and emotions are going on. His suit is also on display. His family comes. They are all in yellow. They are all in yellow. That is Lou's favorite color. His sister, his daughter, he said he knows his answer and he's very happy. He said he never imagined that he would get this far. He said other couples, he thought they were stronger and thought they would get this far. He tells his mother he is terrified. The host and the hostess go visit the bride and groom. They toast, and, he walks in, he puts his mother to sit, and that is the end of episode 11. Straight into episode 12, we are still with Mario Roberto and Lucielma for their wedding. So she tells Justinelli that she has made a decision. They were talking back there. She's like, are you with me? Are you with me? Justinelli's like, I am with you, girl. I am with you. Whatever you need, I will be there. She said she realized she, is the only one that's fully into this. How can you, as Mario Roberto, be over 50 and not know what you want? And Justinelli say, hey, it takes men a little bit of time. It takes them a little bit of time. But while they're having this conversation is when Mario Roberto is walking in with his mom. He puts her to sit. And she says, hey, I made a decision. The producers go and tell the host of the show, you need to go tell Mario Roberto she's not coming. Y'all, Lucielma decides she ain't coming to the wedding. The host goes and tells Mario Roberto she's not going to come. I'm sorry. I was like, whoa, this is for me the first time. The bride decides I ain't even coming to the wedding. Wow, she gets dressed and everything, y'all, and she ain't come to the wedding. She runs away. She decided to skip the altar and uninvite her family, is what she said. She figured he was going to say no, and she didn't want the embarrassment and humiliation. She has been ignored, disrespected, humiliated, and rejected. She said, so why go forward with this wedding? Why go forward and be up there in the spotlight for all that? But she's at peace with her decision. He said he felt bad that she didn't come, and he was going to be a no. So she already knew, or she suspected, and she's like, I'm not going to stand there and let you say no to my face. He said he did not fall in love, but it's clear his no was the right decision. His family is there. They give him strength. He said the women in his life, are who he's married to. The women in his family, they are his life. He takes his ring off. He says, finally free. Lucielma, needs to be able to hear rejection, he said. She needs to be able to handle rejection. She left him a letter. He walks in, he sees it, he puts the letter straight in the trash. Mario Roberto ain't even opened the letter. He put it straight in the trash. He said if she had anything to say to me, she would have done it eye to eye, face to face. I don't want to hear it. No, thank you. I was like, daggone it. This wedding departure is a whole lot. She done left in the convertible. He done tossed the letter out. I want to know what the letter said. Production. Can you open the letter and just show us like a picture of it, or show her writing it for us? I want to read the letter if he don't want to. But y'all, I have a question for you. Is it disrespectful that she ran away when the show did all of this? The show had a whole production set up for a wedding. They had everything lined up, flowers, everything, and she ran away. She even put on the dress and ran away in the dress. And something in me thinks it's planned, because whose convertible is that? How is it it's a white convertible that she drove off in? Is that Justinelli's car? Because we know her car is another smaller car and it's definitely not a convertible. So is it disrespectful that she did that? That she ran off, came, did a whole bunch of production, and didn't follow through to the altar in making a decision? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Next, we move on to Nivea and Ricardo's wedding. She's anxious. And I'm like, did we ever see her kids meet him? No, we didn't see it. Now, we have had other episodes and other seasons where they would have a meeting off camera and they would talk about the meeting, because that's people's prerogative not to be on camera. So she brought the letter that he gave her in the pods. It has his cologne, and she wanted that feeling from back in the pods that they had when they were in love. Of course, again, the hostess visits her. In Ricardo, he said he's blown away. He never thought he would have a wedding, and he's comfortable with his decision. And I'm like, why are his pants, his regular jeans, look like it's sagging like a young man's pants? I'm like, Ricardo, pull up them pants, please. Leo is there for him. Leo visits. And I believe for Nivea, Luciana visits her, and that is her good friend, and they become, I guess, as close as sisters since the process. But Ricardo tells his daughter that he's freaking out. Daughter says, hey, do what feels right, but will you ever get married, Dad? But she wishes that he will get married because she really likes Nivea. His friends show up, and he said his father told him before passing to find a partner for this life. Okay? Y'all, when the guests were arriving, and the reason why I'm studying is because I was looking at that guest list. There's a whole lot of people from the pods, and guess who walks in arm in arm? Lika and Revo. They are arm in arm at the wedding. I said, ain't no way. What date is this wedding? Because clearly he got her number. And clearly they made arrangements, unless it's production making them walk in together to give me this little bit of tea that ain't really tea. Ricardo says when she arrived, the lights sparkled everywhere when he watched her walk down the aisle. She think he looked handsome and dapper. When they asked Nivea, in her vow, she said it's a no. Ricardo says he wishes her happiness and hopes that she gets what her heart is set on. They toast all forms of love. They're like, we love you guys. You're our family. You're our friends. We do love each other. It's just different types of love. And Ricardo says maybe in the future their paths would cross again. So again, they had a ceremony, but no marriage. We're getting closer and closer, guys. We're getting closer and closer. We have Ida and Ed. Her friends come, and she says she's panicked. She's panicked. But the friend is like, hey, we could run away. We could run away. But she says he has been tamed by her love. And the hostess arrives, they go through all of that. They visit, they have a toast with the bride and their friends, and that happens. Ed's friends are emotional too. They're nervous too. They also tell him we could run away. Okay? And he, tells them everything he likes about Ida and this entire process. She's a strong working woman. Talks about her adopting her 2 younger kids when her son was already full grown. He actually absolutely loves her. The host comes and walks in and calls him the Brazilian Samuel L. Jackson. I said no. No. I ain't having it. But if y'all think so, Brazil, y'all can have it. But that ain't for me. They ask Ida, and Ida says yes. Give ourselves a chance to love. Ed is like, I do. He was dancing, and he's like, yes. He got the crowd in it. Ed said, we will grow and evolve in love. So Ida and Ed have gotten married, and I wish them all the best and say congratulations. I really hope they are together by the reunion. We shall see how things progress. So there you have it, folks. We had 3 couples make it down the aisle after, I guess, 6 left the pods. And one of them actually got married. And I didn't think it would be them. I really didn't think it would be them. But I appreciate this journey. I love that Love is Blind Brazil gave us seniors. I hope all the other franchises will give their over 50 crowd a chance to date in this manner. It ain't just a young person's game. It ain't just a young person's dating method. It was absolutely amazing and wonderful. And I'm glad you were here with me for this journey. And there are lots of other Love is Blinds coming up. I hope you will continue to join me for that. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are on. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.